it's your mindset. You got to fix your brain. That's true with anything that I've talked about, that self-persuasion, that mindset. I love Dan Kennedy. He teaches marketing. He teaches entrepreneurs how to be better at marketing and get more prospects and convert more prospects to customers. And he says this, it's really interesting. He says, just take a deep breath and add a zero. Because entrepreneurs especially, they discount their own value because it's themselves. It's a difference when your company's mandated the price, but take a deep breath, add a zero. You're worth it. Why are you discounting yourself? Right? Someone's going to take their money, and it might as well be you, because if the other person takes the money, that's probably an inferior product. They're not going to serve them as well as you do. And that's why I always say you have a moral and ethical obligation to persuade people, to influence people, because if you don't, someone else will. Someone's going to take their money. It might as well be you, because you're going to offer them a better service. You are going to solve their problem. Do not discount yourselves or your company. And even if you're selling your company's product, you're too close to know the value. You've been around too much. You've seen the mistakes in your company. You might know some of the flaws, but hey, you're too close. Go with the value. Man up, woman up, get the confidence. You're worth it. Your product's worth it. You're solving problems. This is very, very important. Part of this too is becoming a product of the product, using the product, loving the product. That is a key factor for you. If you don't love your product, well, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but you really need to think about it. You need to be a product of the product, believe in your product, use your product. And that's one of the challenges I have dealing with customer service, because they're into influence. I have to teach them persuasion too, is they only hear the 0.5% of the people that are upset, didn't work, very, very negative, and they could really suck the life out of you and hurt your psyche and your brain. If you work with customer service, you're in customer service, you've got to look at the success stories. You've got to look at the other 99% that's changing their lives. Otherwise, it's just math. Psychologically, it will suck the life out of you. And last part here with your mindset. Remember, I've talked about T, the acronym TEA, that your thoughts control your emotions control your actions. What are your thoughts about your product, your service, your pricing? What is your demeanor when you talk about price? And that's a big complaint. Remember, one of the fun things that I get to do is I get to interview prospects after they've lied to you, okay? One of their complaints is that your demeanor changes. We get to price, you get all nervous, you get all tense, you get all serious. They're like, hey, what happened to people person? Why are they so tense? And then subconsciously you're transferring this weakness, this fear that might not work. It might be too expensive. They might not want to do it. You've got to really be confident about your product, your service. Another interesting thing as we get to the close or the objections you're going to get, this one just blows my mind and logically doesn't make a lot of sense, but scientifically it's been proven. And I've proven it with my research, these objections. Now hold on, listen to this. The objection you get the most is the objection you still have. Did you catch that? The objection you get the most is the objection that you still have. Wow. So if you do not think it's worth it, if price is an issue for you, if that's your personal objection, you got to fix that real fast. It's almost like we manifest our fear, manifest the objections we don't want to get. Those are the ones you're going to get. And so be careful. Know that you're a product of the product that you believe in. It's mindset. This is the most important thing I can teach you, because that is the key. Take a deep breath, swallow, and add a zero. And another thing that Dan Kennedy talked about that's really interesting, because he sold marketing products at seminars, and there's always those that complain. And he found that those that are complaining and whining about price and value, even though you've built that, they're the ones with no money. They're broke. They wanted it but couldn't do it, and they're going to complain to you about it. So don't let that small minority suck the life out of you. Again, take a deep breath, add a zero, change your demeanor, get confident, man up, woman up. You are a product of the product. You are worth it. That moral and ethical obligation that you've got to sell it, because if you don't, somebody else will, and they will not take care of them as well as you. All right, that is number one. Number two. This is known as sweeten the deal or deaden the deal, right? There's two things here. It's kind of sweeten the pot versus the kitchen sink, and I want to talk about both of those. So the first one is sweeten the pot, sweeten the deal, all right? You see this one on infomercials, and it's a great technique because, first of all, infomercials are not late at night because your resistance is lower, right? You're like, wow, it cuts through a shoe, okay? That's the first thing to understand. But then you see this George Foreman grill, for example, and your mind says, wow, I'd pay $50 for that. They start really high. We'll talk about that in a bit. $150, you're like, but your brain's saying $50, they're saying $150. And of course, it slowly comes down, right? Maybe it's 3 easy payments of $20 or whatever they come down to. So the key thing here, sweeten the pot, is this, is when they say, but wait, there's more. We found that on internet marketing sites and infomercials that people buy for, but wait, there's more of those bonuses more than the actual product. That is the key thing. The lesson here is that if you package everything together, it diminishes the value of everything. If you're selling your house for $300,000, you're like, sure, will you get the piano and the cupboards of the garage and the play set? And you're like, no, the house is $300,000, but wait, the piano, we're going to include that. That's worth $4,000. The play set's worth $2,000. The cupboards are worth $3,000. All of a sudden, you have this extra value that has a higher perceived value. In fact, they did a study at a bake sale. So the first day, they're like, hey, 1 cupcake and 2 cookies. I think it's $1, right? 1 cupcake and 2 cupcakes for $1. And 40% bought. But here's the sweeten the deal. Here's the key. The next day they say, hey, cupcakes are $1. But we've got these cookies worth 50 cents as a bonus that we're going to give to you. Increase from 40% to 70%. Logically the same, but psychologically price is a huge issue. You have to package it in the right way. Or in the supermarket, you might see diapers, for example, that say save 20% or save 40% or an extra 5 diapers, right? The price is the price, but they're giving you more. Even simple things, if you went to the mall to buy chocolate by the pound. They're harder to find nowadays, but just the way they pour the chocolate. If they pour the chocolate in by the pound, too much, they start taking it away. You're like, wait a minute. You can't do that. Versus they pour a little in, they pour a little more, 3, 4, 5 scoops. Same pound of chocolate, 2 different reactions. And so make sure you don't put everything together. You want to sweeten the deal. Keep it separate, especially in negotiations. You even see this on car stickers. Like if you're shopping for a car, they have everything listed in the price, but then they put it in a big package deal, but they've separated everything. Now, this is sweeten the deal. Now, I talk about dead in the deal. There are times and a place if you want to reduce the value of everything. I call it dead in the deal or dead in the pain. You've got to be careful there. Sometimes you want to say you get all this for this. There's a time and place for this in a negotiation. If you're shooting really low, you can put it all together. And part of that too is our mindset. For example, say you went to Chili's, right? And you ordered nachos. You're like, well, how much are the nachos? Well, the chips are $0.01 a piece, and every time you dip them in the salsa, it's 2 cents, and every time you dip it in the cheese sauce, it's 5 cents. Whoa, that's way too much. We can't do that. Or if you bought sushi and you had to pay $1 for every bite. Our brain does not like that. It's like cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. We found that a lot of times all you can eat, put it all together, actually is a time to deaden the pain of the price, to realize you can charge more because you get everything. For example, if you went to a Marriott resort, you're just cha-ching, soda cha-ching, alcohol cha-ching, food cha-ching, room cha-ching. After a while, it just drives you nuts. Everything, they're getting you from all corners, and you're just like, well, how much is this going to cost? Versus going on a cruise. It's all included. This is the percent you pay at the end to your butler or your room steward. It's different. And so there are time and places like cruises or all-you-can-eat restaurants, that type of thing that you can put everything together, and that deadens the pain a little bit. And so there's kind of the contrast there, how that works. So that is a great tool, a couple great techniques to help you out with pricing.